Howdy folks, welcome back to Adventure in Art. My name is Ben Staley, your resident talking head. I guess if you watch this channel regularly, you know that I love my imperfections. I like to glitch out the footage. I do that in transitions. I do that in my opener. I like to add film effects. I like to add grain. I like to add light leaks. I like to vintage up the B-roll footage. I just like to mess with it. You know, we're always trying to shoot the best footage we can with the best cameras we can get our hands on. I like to start there for sure most of the time. But in post, a lot of times, I like to add effects. I like to mix it up. I like to break the image down, or I like to just make it look vintagey or cool or give it some style. I have always wanted to try Dehancer. It's been on my radar for a long time. I actually was just very recently just considering going all in and buying a license when I got an email. Check this out. Hi Ben, we're looking for YouTubers that can produce a video review tutorial of Dehancer. Important thing though is that we are looking for an honest review as it can help us improve, so we do not impose any requirements on what you say about Dehancer. Okay, cool. They reached out. They asked me if I wanted a free license in exchange for a review / tutorial talk about our product. Heck yeah, I want to try it out. So I've had it for a couple weeks. It's actually shown up in some prior videos. I just didn't say anything, but if you go back to the last, half dozen or so videos, you're gonna see the effects in there. I've been using it on my B-roll. I had high hopes for Dehancer. I was actually considering buying it. I looked at it. I looked at tutorials online. I studied it. I generally study things if I'm going to spend money on them. Before I spend money on them, I make sure it's really what I want. And, this isn't an inexpensive program. In fact, I don't even remember how much it costs. Let's look here. Dehancer Video, Final Cut Pro. Full license for Final Cut Pro, $449. Okay, so yes, I was studying it. You want to just get into it? You want to just look at some footage? You want to see how it works? Let's go. Like, why am I sitting here blabbing to the camera? Let's check it out. So typically, when I am going to add color correction or most effects, I do that on an adjustment layer, which I have over here on the side. Let's add an adjustment layer. We're just going to drag this to cover all these video clips that I have assembled. There we go. Now we go over here to our effects, and it's down here under Film Emulation, Dehancer Pro version 7. We just drop it on. Boom. Right over here, it's at the top of the effects. You can see all this footage, most of it was shot in log format. So what I do is first, I go to the footage here, we'll highlight that, and I go over here and I add the camera LUT for the camera I shot it in. This was shot with a Sony camera, so I add a Sony S-Log3 LUT. In the case of some of these images I shot with a Panasonic camera, I will add a Panasonic V-Log LUT. You can actually choose your source. Maybe you can choose a specific camera if it's already in log or not. I'm not sure, I haven't done that, but I just start and I edit, I apply it to a 709 look, and that affects how it interprets the color. So up here at the top, you've got basically your exposure compensation up or down. I generally don't touch any of this stuff. Like if I want to do any correction or exposure correction to the image, I generally do that first before I add Dehancer. So right away down here, you get to choose which film look that you want. And there's quite a few. I mean, it looks to be like there's 40 or 50 or something here. All kinds, all the Fuji color, a bunch of Kodak, some Polaroid stuff, some Cine Still 50D. We've got Kodak Ektachrome. We've got Ektar 100. There's all these cool films. So I actually, playing around, I like this Fujicolor Natura 1600. So you pick your particular film style, and you know, there's other things you can do. You get your film developer, which is sort of emulates maybe different processes you would do in developing. Film compression, you know, I haven't really used this. I'm not sure what this does. Tonal range. This does something with the color, I think. The white point, the black point, the color density. Interesting. Same thing, black point. This is sort of like a contrast, and I generally leave this alone. Down here, we get into the cool stuff. You can apply grain all the way from like an 8mm up to 65mm. You can pick, you know, the ISO of your film. Obviously, the higher ISO, the grainier it's going to be. So look, here is 35mm film, 50 ISO. The 500 is definitely going to be grainier. Or if you go to 65mm, you're probably going to have a smaller grain. Or if you go to say 8mm 500 ISO, I bet that's a real grainy. Yep, real grainy. So if you want to customize this, you just go up to custom, and look at that. You can change, just manually change it and get the look you want. So the size of the grain, the amount of the grain, the film resolution, shadows, chroma. Maybe you just want it to be monochrome. You don't want a bunch of color grain. You can even choose positive or negative film. I guess that'll affect the grain. So you can really customize this to get the look that you want. You can do, let's get rid of this grain just so we can see. Actually, let's just go to, I like just a standard 35mm ISO 50 grain, nice and subtle and pleasing. You can do bloom, which sort of gives it, this is not a good image to tell that with. Let's see, maybe we go to something like this where we've got like a light source. And look at the bloom, it sort of gives it, boop, it just sort of makes the highlights glow a little bit, not unlike a Pro Mist filter. That's pretty cool. There's film damage. You can choose what kind of film you want again, or you can go custom. And there's all kinds of things you can enable, like you can go dust, hairs, scratches, and you have sliders for all these factors, so you can really dial in your film damage. Like, look at this. We can go max dust, max hairs, max scratches. You can really max it up here. Make them all really big, size, whatever. We'll just go max, and you just get to see this. Pretty cool. I don't know if you want to do that. That's pretty obscene. This obviously hasn't rendered, but there you go. Film breathing and a little gate weave to make it wobble. Now, here's the thing that I was super excited about that I like, and this is called overscan. I love to do, I was doing sort of overscan effects on a lot of my videos, and I was using like overlays where I would just, I had bought this pack of overscan overlays, and you just lay it over the footage, and sometimes you manipulate the footage, the size to get it in there, and you can have the overscan parts, and it was cool, but it's labor intensive. This has overscan built right in. Check out how this works. This is cool. So we will enable overscan. Boom. This right away is a 35mm. I like the widescreen. So look at that. Now we can see it at the top and the bottom. This is pretty rad. Of course, we can really manipulate the overscan in a lot of different ways. Change the scale. Here's some different overscan looks. And here are some different film looks.
What's it about this place, Charlie? I think this place is hauntingly beautiful all 4 seasons of the year, but especially now with the bare trees. It's incredible. It is renewal. It's
So that is Dehancer, my friends. I gotta tell you, I really, really like this. What is my critique? What would be better? Honestly, I love all of this. I think they put a lot of thought into it. I do think they are continually improving it. I love the overscan feature so much. I wish it was even more customizable. Like I could custom change the aspect ratio up and down, or the width between the different frames when you have the kind of the overscan top and bottom. I wish I could like change those attributes. I understand that would be a little tricky. I also wish it had some kind of a light leak function, because I love putting light leaks in and blowing things out, and I love light leak effects. So I would like to see that in a future version. Overall, I think this is a great product. I think it is well worth the $449 or whatever it costs. I think it's a worthwhile investment if this is what you're looking for. And you could use this like as a finishing touch on a big project if you wanted. I recently saw an indie film, a super indie film that was done really high quality. It was called Your Lucky Day, about some crazy stuff that happens in a convenience store when someone wins a lottery ticket. It's pretty good, I recommend it. But the whole movie obviously was shot on digital, but there was significant film grain put in the finishing. You could see that they just added this kind of film look to it, and it was maybe even a little heavy for my taste, but it was cool. They did that, and you will see grain added into films and music videos and things as it looks. You could absolutely finish a project with Dehancer. I really like it. I like it so much I became an affiliate. So there's an affiliate link down below. If you sign up and use the code STALEY, I think you get 10% off. If you decide to keep it, I get a little kickback, full disclosure. But if it's something you're interested in trying, I recommend you at least download, I think they give you like a free month or something. Just download it and try it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you really soon. I gotta get back to work. Later.